In this video, we will see the topic of operating system. The outline of this video is operating system scheduling algorithms. We will see the difference between non-preemptive and preemptive scheduling, and we will also see a scheduling algorithm called first come first serve method of scheduling, its properties, and an example numerical with calculation of average waiting time. Right? So let us move on. Now, what are the scheduling algorithms in operating system? A process scheduler schedules different processes to be assigned to the CPU based on particular scheduling algorithms, right? Popular scheduling algorithms are as follows: first come first serve (FCFS) scheduling, shortest job next scheduling, priority scheduling, shortest remaining time scheduling, round robin scheduling, multiple level queue scheduling. These algorithms are either preemptive or non-preemptive in nature. Now I will explain what is the difference between preemptive and non-preemptive scheduling algorithms. We will study all these algorithms in detail later, but first let us see what is the difference between non-preemptive and preemptive algorithms, right? Non-preemptive algorithms are designed so that once a process enters the running state, it cannot be preempted or it cannot be taken out, swapped out until it completes its allotted time. Whereas the preemptive scheduling algorithm is based on priority, where a scheduler may preempt it or swap it anytime when a high priority process enters into a ready state. The low priority process is swapped out with the high priority process. This is called preemptive. And in non-preemptive, the process is run until its execution time is over. Now we will see a scheduling algorithm called first come first serve or FCFS. Jobs are executed on first come first serve basis, right? The job which arrives first is executed first, right? It is a non-preemptive scheduling algorithm, which means it is run in the CPU until its execution time is over. There is no concept of priority here. Even if a high priority process arrives, then it cannot be swapped out with the higher priority process in the ready state, right? Easy to understand and easy to implement. Its implementation is based on FIFO queue. What is FIFO queue? First in first out queue, right? The process which arrives first exits first, right? First in first out. Now poor in performance as average waiting time is high. This algorithm or this scheduling method is poor in performance because the average waiting time is quite high. Now let us see an example here, numerical example. These are your processes P0, P1, P2, P3. This is your arrival time 0, 1, 2, 3, right? The first one arrives at the time 0 seconds. Second one arrives at the time of 1 second, after 1 second. Third one arrives at the time of after 2 seconds. Fourth one arrives after 3 seconds. This is your execution time, right? The time which the first one takes to execute is 5 seconds. The time which the second one P1 takes is 3 seconds, and the time which third one P2 takes is 8 seconds, and the time which the fourth one takes P3 is 6 seconds. This is your service time. The service time is your time when the CPU is allotted to the process, right? How much time it took to give service to the process, right? For example, P0 arrives at 0 and the service time is 0 here, which means it starts executing at the 0. Then P1 starts executing at 5 seconds. Since the execution time of P0 is 5 seconds, hence the service time of P1 is after 5 seconds when the P0 process exits, since it is a non-preemptive scheduling, right? So here is a Gantt chart. P0 starts at 0, finishes up at 5 seconds, then P1 starts its execution, then it goes till 3 seconds, that is till 8 seconds, and then it goes till after 8 seconds. At the point of 16 seconds, you enter into the P3 process. P3 process finishes up at 22 seconds. Since its execution time is 6 seconds, it finishes up at 22 seconds after the start of 0, right? Moving on. Waiting time of each process is as follows, right? Now we will calculate the waiting time. Waiting time is calculated by the formula service time minus arrival time. right? The time at which the service was provided to the process and the time at which the process arrived, the difference of these two gives us the waiting time. P0 is having the service time 0 since it was first in the queue and it started executing first, so its service time is 0 and its arrival time is also 0. So 0 minus 0 gives 0. Now since the service time of this P1 is 5 seconds and the arrival time was first second, hence it took 4 seconds, it had to wait 4 seconds for its execution. Now the service time of third one is 8 seconds since it began its execution at the 8th second and the arrival time was 2 seconds and hence it had to wait for 6 seconds. The service time of fourth one P3 is 16th second and the arrival time was 3 seconds and hence it had to wait for 13 seconds for its execution. Now we will calculate the average wait time, right? How do we calculate an average of 4 quantities? We just add them up and divide it by the number 4. So we add the waiting time of these 4 quantities, 0 plus 4 plus 6 plus 13, and divide it by the number 4 since they are 4 in number. So we come at the conclusion that the average waiting time is 5.75 seconds. Right? The average waiting time in this case of numerical is 5.75 seconds. This is important. In exams, they ask you to calculate the waiting time. In the next video, we will continue looking at various scheduling methods such as shortest job next, priority based scheduling, shortest remaining time first, round robin, etc. So stay tuned for the next video and thank you for watching this video. I will see you in the next video. Take care guys.